All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Wanted to talk about a quick subject when it comes to concealed carry and just the different battles that we face day to day with protecting our families, our loved ones, our churches, our friends, our workplace, whatever it may be. We're going to talk about mindset some, but from a different kind of perspective. And the thought I have today is are you being a peacemaker? And what I mean by that is basically it's one thing to be a warrior and be ready to be a warrior all the time and to be a fighter and to protect with force. And another thing to be able to de escalate different frustrations or strifes or anger from other people and other parties. Because when we ask or we take on the responsibility of carrying a firearm or a weapon to protect our families. The last thing we want to do is be so aggressive with that responsibility that we find ourselves going to jail and being in lawsuits because we're so ready to defend our family, friends, whatever, our livelihood, or sometimes our ego. Let's be honest. And I think that's probably our biggest danger sometimes is our ego trying to look bigger and stronger and more powerful than the next guy. I mean, that'll get you in trouble every time. But sometimes we forget that one of the greatest, most valuable things that we can have in being a concealed carrier or a protector, a security of any kind for your family, for your church or whatever, is to be a peacemaker and always be looking for a way out of a situation without confrontation. And I think that's one of the main things that we need to do that gets overlooked. People talk about mindset a lot, but I don't think they talk about it from this point of view. And are you a person? Let me ask you this question. Are you a person that is ready to de escalate and has thought of different scenarios that you may find yourself in and looked out through your past and your life and seen where situations got out of hand and frustrations got too elevated and things went to a level they shouldn't have you processed those situations and said, what can I do better next time? If this happens or that happens, even things that may have never happened in your life, have you took the time to think, how can I de-escalate this future situation that might happen at home or at church or at the workplace or in a restaurant or at the mall or whatever? Do you have a plan? Have you built it into your personality? Have you trained it into your personality to be a peacemaker and to make a situation that may cost people their lives, even the person that may be causing the problem? We don't want to take a life. Even if somebody you'd be justified by doing so, you don't want to have to take that life. Even in the best case scenario, that's going to kind of be a weight on you the rest of your life. So what are you doing to prep your mind and change your mindset to be a peacemaker and to de-escalate situations that you might fall into? And that's my thoughts. The Bible says that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers of the air. But there's an overall problem in America and other places in the world as well with the mindset of people, and they're easily frustrated. There's definitely a bad spirit in this world today, and we're dealing with a lot of things, a lot of pressures, a lot of financial pressures, a lot of stresses that people deal with day to day that just didn't exist 25, 30 years ago. And this technological world, this world with there's technology um, everywhere in our hands, in our ear. We can't get away, we can't de-stress, we can't just clear our head. We're just constantly surrounded by this heaviness of everybody knows where you're at and everybody knows what you're doing. And you, even when you're at work or you're driving for work, anybody can find you at any time. They can email you, they can call you, they can text you. You just can't never get no peace in this world today. And that's really weighed heavy on the hearts and minds of so many people, and it's just stress people out. And people are stressed beyond what they've ever been before. And even politics, let's go ahead and say it. Politics in itself has become a very stressful thing, because used to both parties were on kind of closer to the middle, and now they've gone so extreme, like one's the enemy and one's the good guy. That's kind of how it gets looked at from both sides. And it used to not be that way, but even our politics has become that way. So, guys, have you prepped yourself to have a peacemaker attitude, not just a warrior attitude? You want to have that inner warrior that comes out when you need it to, but can you flip that switch? Are you able to do that? If you're a warrior 100% of the time, that's not always a good thing. And if you're a peacemaker 100% of the time, that's not always a good thing either. But can you figure out where that switch needs to be flipped? And can you figure out how to do both those things with the right balance? And you'll keep your family safer if you're the right balance of a peacemaker and a warrior. You'll keep your friends safer, your church safer, your home safer, your possessions safer. I've seen people that are a warrior 100% of the time, and they're more of a warrior than I'll probably ever be, and some of the most respected people that I know, but they're just a warrior all the time. And I find that they've run into so many problems and issues in their life where they've had to pay a price for being a warrior, when at that moment, or a certain moment, they should have been more of a peacemaker, and they were just full-on warrior. And they made decisions and they did things in that mode and that mentality with that kind of personality that costs them a hefty price in those situations. So I think it's a lot better and a lot easier for your family and friends if you can learn to find that balance and think about those things. I mean, I think this could be better advice than whether you should carry this gun or this knife and that knife, or an extra magazine, or how you train, how much you train with a gun. This is actually probably more valuable than ever even picking up a gun, is advice like this, is learning how to be a warrior when you need to be a warrior, and learning how to be a peacemaker when you need to be a peacemaker, and avoiding all the situations where nothing good is going to come out of it, learning how to avoid those through kindness, patience, respect, on so many levels. I mean, those things can go so far. Even with a person that's half crazy, a lot of times that you can de-escalate a situation where somebody could really hurt a family member, a wife, or a kid, or you, or your possessions, or hurt you in a situation and somehow. And just having respect and patience and kindness and showing mercy and showing love in the right ways in certain situations can even take a crazy person and change them. I've seen people that are very mean and ugly change because they were treated with some kind of respect and patience and kindness. And I think when you learn what situations can we do that, and what situations is that absolutely not an option, and we have to skip that and go straight to warrior mode. Try to think about those scenarios and see what you learn about that. See, as you process and meditate on those thoughts, see what you can figure out and plan for the future situations that you might run into. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Please like and subscribe if you like the content that I'm bringing every day. I know these videos don't do very good, and that's fine, but I do like throwing some spiritual, mental, positive thoughts about situations without bringing guns into it. I think that balances out my channel very well. These aren't going to be the exciting, fun videos, but I think that they will help people do better in their life, or plan better for the future. And just having the mindset of a peacemaker and a warrior, and knowing how to find that balance, is very important. God bless. Have a great day.